What's up, everyone? And welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast, episode number 76. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and today I'm joined by Mr. Physical Copy himself, Ethan. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic, Kevin. How you doing, man?
I'm great. Yeah, having a good day. We're also joined by the Double A man himself, Garrett. How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing good.
Well, not. Don't give me too big life updates, guys.
He's mad
Well,
because we interrupted his Borderlands session.
No, I just woke up too. I'm not gonna lie. Like woke up half an hour ago. I was like, I could try to grab a quick flight to New Zealand for the day.
Yeah, of course. Those New Zealand flights.
Yeah.
Well,
Quick
guys,
the bullet train, I tell you.
remember, if you like the podcast, we're live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time right here on YouTube. If you can't catch us live, we post every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on all your favorite podcast services. While you're over there, please drop us a review and rating, whether that's on Apple or Spotify. Excuse me. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, tweet us proof at Project XTalk, and you'll be entered for a chance to win 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate. That winner's getting picked tomorrow, so your time is limited. Head on over to our Twitter to see if we've picked the winner. But
I'm about to enter this myself.
You got some time. Have you not rated us on Apple Podcasts?
I don't have any Apple products in my entire house.
Oh my!
I hate that company.
Yeah,
God.
I'm in the same boat, man.
Terrible.
I don't do Apple products.
As I said in the Discord, savages the lot of you.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
All right.
It
If you
feels
wanna
just like a very expensive social club to get into.
Yeah.
Once you get the phone, you got to get the laptop, then you got to get the things. And then, like, I was reading up over their way around that. Did you guys read the news lately about that the right to repair thing?
Oh yeah, how Apple hates
Yeah.
people repairing their own phones. Yeah.
It's a
Not
funny way
good.
to get around that law, but yeah.
Oh
Going
my
on.
God!
Apple's
to
an
you.
evil company. No more.
If you text me and the text is green, deleting your number. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. You'll never get
Disgusting.
my number.
It's gotta be blue. It's gotta be blue.
Yeah, it's okay.
What are we even talking about here? Apparently Apple. This
Who
isn't an
knows?
Apple show. This is a Xbox podcast. And if you want all our content early, because why wouldn't you? We make such great stuff here. Head on over to patreon.com/projectxtalk. And for $1 a month, you get all our content early, plus the Patreon shout out. So shout out to Bucky Blue and Hopple for supporting us. We appreciate you both. But now the housekeeping's out of the way, guys. We're going to start like we do every single week by going around the room and asking one simple question. That question is, what you playing? So, Ethan, I'm going to start with you. What have you been playing?
So I've been working through Valhalla's Dawn of Ragnarok DLC because I'm going to be doing a review on it soon. Lot of content, so it's taken me a bit to get through it all. I've been busy this week. But I've been playing a little indie game called Kraken Academy that dropped on Game Pass, and I actually am really enjoying it. This is a clear-cut case of another one of those games that I would have never played if it wasn't on Game Pass. So I'm really glad that I picked it up. I probably put about 2 hours into it. It's just an interesting little time loop game where you kind of are at this academy. You go to this academy with your sister, and you have to interact with all the different characters, make friendships, do stuff like that. And all the while, there's a giant kraken with a gem in his head that's kind of telling you, hey, in 3 days, everything's going to fall apart and the gates of hell are going to open and swallow this academy whole. And you get this little thing where you can go back in time to Monday. So basically the whole game takes place between a Monday and a Wednesday. And it's your job to continuously go back and forth and interact with people, find new key cards to open up different areas, and do your best to save this academy. So it's really fun. I definitely recommend it. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a very long game, but just a really cool little indie game.
I've heard good things about it, so that's sweet that you're playing it. Maybe you should do a review for that one too.
What Ragnarok's taking me a bit, so I might take a break and do this one.
Little Game Pass and review. I'll let you guest. I'll let you guest on it. Occasionally.
Right.
Occasionally, I'm not the only one that plays Game Pass games. Glad you're enjoying it though. I actually have heard good things about it. Not Assassin's Creed though. I'm talking about Kraken Academy.
Oh my
nobody
God,
nobody
here
needs
we
to
go.
nobody needs to hear about Assassin's Creed.
Rehashing Ubisoft conflicts.
I spent 600 hours in the same open world. I love this game.
It's called an adventure, Kevin.
Yeah, an adventure, all right. Garrett, what have you been playing?
I haven't been doing too much this week, but me and my roommates started Civ 6 playthrough. But we downloaded I didn't really look into the DLC for it before. So we turned on, basically we're calling it apocalypse mode. We turned on zombies, barbarians. Yeah, it's got like random zombies so that every time you kill half a troop, a zombie swarm spawns. And then they follow whatever their last unit is. So you could probably use them to like swarm, like think of like the Whisperers thing. You could like grab waves of zombies and lead them towards an enemy base. And then we also have like this secret sect, like for governments, not sect, but sect. Government
secret sex spot. Yeah.
Secret sex spot in Civ 6.
Yeah, it turns out that you could work for like vampires or like cultists or whatever.
And what did they do with that game?
Yeah,
I didn't know about any of this.
So, like, we turned those on, and then which other ones did we turn on? Oh, apocalypse mode. So as like the world gets more global warming and you start opening up more factories, the storms get bigger and bigger, and they could actually take out cities. So that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
But we're only in like the 12 to 1300, so nothing too crazy has happened yet. But other than that, I'll just admit it. I played some of the new Fortnite. It's fun. I'm glad that they took building out.
Nerd.
I smoked some people. It was great. But they got that whole thermal scope thing. So guys that were OGs thinking that they could come back and hide in some bushes and make some people laugh. It doesn't work no more. I'll put it that way. They'll find you.
I think that's funny how that game updated. And like, that's what the majority of major players in Fortnite, that's why they were good, is because they were really good at building. And now they just can't do it. It's just messing everything up. I love it.
Yeah. Like I even saw like one guy like quickly jumped him and he did like a swirl. So like, you could totally tell he tried to do the button. Not here, buddy.
Not today.
Yeah. But that's about it for the week.
Fortnite, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Fortnite, my guy.
I was there too.
It's the guy from Fortnite.
It's the guy from Fortnite. I also haven't really played much this week, guys. I actually watched some movies for once.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one.
The
on
new
Netflix.
one? How is that?
It's garbage. Absolute garbage.
Last good chainsaw movie. Like there was one really artistic one that came out in like 2008, 2009 that was very visceral.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there isn't a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're all bad, including the original.
The new one is just a bunch of people go out to do a porn shoot in some Texas barn, and then the owner
is not what happens in this movie.
It's called X, right? The movie is called X.
No, it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There's another new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's called X. It's in theaters right now.
You can't double release
that. That is not okay. Well, that might be inspired by the Texas. I know what movie you're talking about. That is not the Texas Chainsaw IP though. That does not have Leatherface in it.
Okay, fair enough. I heard a lot of people saying that it was part of the lore of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I don't know. I need to look this up.
I'm gonna dive into that after the show for sure and see what you're talking about. But the one on Netflix is the one I'm talking about, and it is trash. There's about 3 locations in the entire movie. The CGI is bad. The story is really bad. This isn't a movie podcast, so I don't know why I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw. Oh, I also watched Underworld Blood Wars, guys. I didn't know. So, are you familiar with Underworld?
I'm low-key a fan.
I love Underworld, but I watched the old ones.
Yeah. So, have you seen this 2016 one, Garrett?
Probably. Like I've seen like up to like I've seen the original trilogy. Then there was like 3 or 4 spin-offs now. They have a bunch.
This is only the 5th movie.
Okay, so then I saw it.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's the latest one. It's bad. I don't know why Kate Beckinsale keeps coming back for these films. This is
Because she gets to wear leather for a few hours, of course.
This
It's
was
like, guys.
It's
amazing.
hard to call this direct to home video quality because I think it's worse than that. Like, oh my lord.
I know the one you're talking about now. I wasn't sure before, but now I am. Yeah.
It's trash. It's very trash. Speaking of trash, I got the Monarch Platinum this week, guys.
I'm glad you at least recognize it.
I love that game. I don't care if it's trash. I got the Platinum. The end game was actually easier than the second act. So who knew?
That's because it's not a well-made game.
I figured out a broken strategy to just kill everyone, and that's what I went with.
Oh, speaking of broken strategy, I guess I should say that I played some more Elden Ring. They completely nerfed my build. Absolutely destroyed the weapon I was using. And so, yeah, I got rid of it off of my hard drive, and I'll come back to it probably in 3 months. I don't have the energy anymore for that game. I really don't.
You uninstalled Elden Ring.
That's like, I still got it.
But I can reinstall it in like 20 minutes. It's not that big a deal. I just don't like stuff.
Yeah, just be glad you got to go to that cheesing spot, okay?
Yeah, that's true. No, they didn't nerf the cheesing spot. I can still do that. The weapon that I had was nerfed, though. No, they didn't do anything with fall damage, I don't think.
Ah, okay.
Well, I also played some Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I grabbed that on Steam. I only did the tutorial in like 2 fights, so I barely touched it. It was literally like I sold the game, got $20, and I was like, all right, what do I want to play? And then I picked up Persona 4 Arena. And I like it so far. I like it. I'm in a fighting game mood, so it's gonna be put on hold, unfortunately, because
Kirby tomorrow.
Ghostwire. I was gonna say Ghostwire comes out tomorrow, but Kirby also comes out. I'm picking both up, so I will have.
I heard Ghostwire wasn't that good.
I don't care what you heard. I heard Monarch.
That's what everyone's saying.
I heard Monarch wasn't that good.
Well, that's true. You'll probably
slaps.
like it.
Yeah, I'll love it. This is the open world game that I'm gonna be like, this is Elden Ring. Who? Ghostwire Tokyo. Let's go. I don't know why I'm doing voices today, guys. I'm in a weird mood. Yeah. So I'm excited for tomorrow. So we'll have definitely more to talk about next week for like what we're actually playing, because this week's kind of been a lull. And now things are going into overdrive starting tomorrow, where we get Ghostwire, Kirby, and Tiny Tina. And Amon's in the chat going, yo, yo, yo.
Dereliction of duty. He's not here.
Yeah. He's in Italy. He's like, I need to go get my pasta.
I need to eat some cannolis, or I can't go.
Couldn't get to the show?
Yeah, he's in Italy, putting ketchup on pizza.
He's yelling at somebody in gibberish across the street outside of a cannoli shop.
Like on weekends, they go to Italy to put ketchup on pizza.
No, he's there for foreign exchange. Of
course he is, but it's just for fun's sake. What an aggressive personality.
But the ketchup on pizza thing is real. I know he's going to deny it, but he's definitely doing it. All right, guys. That's all for what you've been playing. We do have a bit of little tidbits before we get into the actual news I wanted to mention. The DVR feature, you used to be able to record, take screenshots, and upload to Twitter via your Xbox. That feature has seemingly been removed. It might be added back, might not be, but for right now, it's gone, unfortunately. Other than that, I just wanted to make that known in case you use that feature a lot and you've been uploading clips to Twitter. But now it's time for a segue. So have a seat while I grab some books from the library and tell you this week's stories. Story number 1. Microsoft has cut ties with Ori developer Moon Studios because of their toxic workplace culture. This comes from Spencer Legacy at Noisy Pixel. They report, quote, following a report by GamesBeat about accusations of an abusive workplace, Microsoft has apparently parted ways with Moon Studios. As the developers behind the Ori series, Moon Studios allegedly created a workplace fraught with racism, sexism, and general toxicity. GamesBeat original report claims that the studio prided itself on, quote, anti-corporate culture, and included multiple screenshots of leaders calling employees, quote, retarded, quote, harshly criticizing their work and making unprofessional and offensive jokes. The founders responded by saying they do not believe these experiences presented reflect the experience of Moon Studio employees. Honestly, this report is ridiculously long. If you want the full account of everything awful going on over there, head on over to GamesBeat and read it. It's going to take you a little bit. So, Ethan, I know you and I were kind of talking about this offline, but what are your feelings about Moon Studios after you read this report?
Yeah, this report is exhausting to read, and it is really damning about the culture that they have over there. I mean, it's just disgusting. It's a clear cut case of a toxic work culture and really bad leadership. The people at the top are not cut out to be leaders. They're not cut out to be supervisors. They shouldn't be in that position, which is really sad because I've enjoyed both Ori games, and I never thought anything badly about that studio. If anything, I thought the studio was on the up and up. They made 2 incredible games published by Microsoft. They had funding. They're making a 3rd game. They're doing well for themselves. And now you see their developers, or the head developers, shooting themselves in the foot. I just don't understand why people continue to act like this and think it's okay. All of the different stuff that was in the report, I don't want to go over everything because there's just a lot. There's a lot of evidence against them. I've been a part of a toxic workplace before. Unfortunately, I couldn't leave. I was contractually obligated to stay. And it's rough when you go through 9 months of not being able to escape something like that. It takes a toll on your mental health. It takes a toll on your physical health. Your entire life kind of gets absorbed by that. So I hope these employees are able to leave. I hope they're able to get away from this. The just absolute lack of leadership. Really sad to see.
For sure. Some of them, I know one of the co-founders who is Jewish made a joke about like eradicating Jewish people. Clearly tongue in cheek. He thinks it's funny, but in a workplace situation, I think that
Right.
I mean, it's in bad taste no matter where you are, but it's specifically in a workplace situation where you're supposed to be professional, communicate with people in a certain manner. If you want to make those jokes to your friends behind closed doors because that's your friend group, like you're not going to get in trouble for it. If other people hear you, then they might have some things to say and be like, well, you really shouldn't make those jokes. But if you're broadcasting that over a Slack channel,
Yeah.
that is completely inappropriate in my eyes. I don't understand, how the employees, because it's not just inappropriate jokes. Like they would put something out and be torn apart immediately. They've been told their work is garbage and trash and insulted on a personal level. And then the co-founders just say, well, this is jokes or people are too sensitive, because it's not like GamesBeat put this out and was like, surprise, we're putting out an article about you. They gave the co-founders time to respond. And in their long statement, where they basically are like, this isn't reflective of our studio, they do not at once apologize, acknowledge any of the issues. They literally basically deny the whole thing and be like, we're
Can I
fine.
make a quick point about their response?
Yeah.
At the beginning, they talked about this does not reflect our studio and the over 80 developers we have. We're not talking about your developers. We're talking about you and your buddy who co-founded this company. Nobody's talking about your devs. We've seen their work. They're good devs. We all like them. It's you guys that are the problem. So to drag their whole company in on this is kind of, it just shows how insecure and sad these people are.
That's a great point, because the accusations are not about Moon Studios employees. It's literally just the 2 co-founders that are the issue here.
This isn't like Activision where it's multiple facets of the company doing the same thing.
Yeah, multiple levels of leadership and issues going on within Activision Blizzard, completely different than what's going on over here. Garrett, I want to bring you in. Did you read the report?
I read it a little bit, but there wasn't too much slander left for me to say. You guys covered it both pretty well. Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like I'm already repeating what you guys said. It was appalling. Just simply put, I don't know. Not going to repeat. Let's move on. You guys said it pretty well.
Okay. All right. Well, I think calling them out and letting people know that this is an issue, certainly. So if you feel uncomfortable buying from Moon Studios now, completely within your right, completely understandable. Hopefully things get better over there for the people still working.
Another point that I think is good to highlight is that Microsoft parted ways from this studio. They're no longer going to publish their games, and they did this before this report was coming out. And from what we're seeing, they started seeing some of the rumblings within that company about the workplace culture and immediately cut ties with them. So that, I think that shows that Phil Spencer and the Xbox team is putting their money where their mouth is when they go out there every showcase and say, we want to build a good work culture within the Xbox community. And they're actually putting that into practice. So I think that's a good thing to highlight.
I think an interesting point about that is in the report, it said the 2 co-founders were the only ones allowed to speak with Microsoft about like when they were doing the Ori things.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah. So maybe Microsoft had bad interactions with them themselves, but they were contractually obligated to publish the Ori games. And this is nothing against the Ori games because by all accounts, those are phenomenal titles. But for me, I'd be like, I want them to fix their studio culture. And if the people working there are, it blows my mind. People are still working there. Maybe they don't have any other option. Maybe they can't leave. We don't know everyone's specific situation. Right. But I would like to see more current employees come out and explain like what is going on in the studio right now, because everyone they've talked to is a past employee and they have some horrific accounts of things that were said to them and how they felt about working there. But I would like to see some current up-to-date employees be like, this is how Moon Studios currently operates.
Yeah,
for sure. Sad situation. Another studio being torn apart here.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust. It is worth noting that their next game is apparently going to be published by Private Division, which is owned by 2K. So maybe they don't have a problem with it. I don't know. Maybe
Run
they weren't
to
aware
Take-Two
of
Interactive. We know toxicity is allowed over there. So,
well, just a heads up. We'll move on to story number 2, and that's because A Plague Tale, one of my favorite games, is becoming a TV series. This was officially confirmed by director Matthew Turi on Twitter. Asobo and Focus Home Interactive's surprise hit is the latest video game to be adapted for TV. Turi has worked on projects such as Inglourious Bastards, Lucy, and Gossip Girl. A Plague Tale Innocence, released in 2019, and the sequel of Plague Tale Requiem is set to launch this year. The story follows siblings Amicia and Hugo during the plague in 1300s France. So it is also worth noting that the trophies and achievement lists for Plague Tale Requiem leaked online as reported by PowerPix and True Achievements, and that release dates apparently there's a little conflicting info here. Some say May 17th, others say June 17th, but it's apparently coming real soon, which gets me excited. Obviously, a TV show is nowhere near coming out to meet the game. Maybe there'll be a third one. It can come out with that, but I wanted to know what, as we continue to see games expand into TV and film, what series would you guys like to see adapted for TV?
Well, first of all, I think Plague Tale will translate very well into a TV show. It's a medieval setting. I mean, Hollywood knows how to do medieval stuff, and I think it'll translate perfectly. And it's a good game too, so I'm happy for them. As far as games are concerned, I think a Fable TV show might be pretty cool. I think that would be interesting to see.
Really?
Peel back the curtain a little bit on that whole world, and it's a high fantasy setting. That could be a big blockbuster hit. I think that would be an interesting show.
What about you, Garrett?
For like shows added to it? I don't know. I'm all about the atmosphere, so let's just say off the top of my head, BioShock, Mass Effect.
Ooh.
Yeah, just like Rapture, Under the Sea, that would be some great stuff. I'm thinking like Abyss vibes.
Yeah.
Were you absent the episode we discussed that Netflix is making a BioShock movie?
They are making it, but like they didn't talk about their location yet. I want a Rapture one.
Oh, okay, specifically Rapture.
Because there's a chance that it could be in what's the one? I just played it like a couple weeks ago. Columbus?
Yeah.
It's in the sky, yeah. I was not a fan of that location. BioShock is just an underwater city to me.
You're talking about Infinite, right?
Yeah, he was talking about
Infinite. Yeah, the city for there. I think it was called Columbus. But like that, like what's another one? Maybe Fallout 4. Or
any Fallout.
Or any Fallout. Just
Amazon's making a Fallout series.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Dang it.
All right. So
But,
what
yeah,
you're telling me is
all my
all the
dreams
ones
are being achieved.
your dreams are coming true.
They could work on Mass
Damn.
Effect, but that'll be about
That
it.
would be cool. I would love to see that.
That one's rumored. We don't have official confirmation on any Mass Effect things yet, but
All right, well, then screw it. I got to throw in one for creativity now. DreamWorks Spyro. Come on, let's do it.
animated Spyro games.
Disney Pixar picks up the IP.
Hell yeah.
That'd be great.
Spyro does a How to Train Your Dragons crossover.
I was just about to say
That
that. That'd be great.
Joe,
That'd be cool.
that would be so cool.
That'd be really cool.
I'd be down for that for sure. The How You Train Your Dragon people go into like the Skylanders universe. That'd be so
That'd be
cool.
sick,
right?
That'd be so cool. Yeah,
They
yeah,
need to
I'm down for
hire
that.
us. Where's my paycheck? We
Yeah.
need to do this now.
A Plague Tale though, I love this game. I absolutely adore it. As I said, it's I go back and forth. This or Hellblade is probably my favorite game of last generation from like a narrative perspective. Certainly, I love the story that this game tells. I love the relationship between Amicia and Hugo and all the other characters that you get introduced because there are sad moments in this game. There's epic moments in this game.
The whole game is sad.
It can be. It can be for sure. Yeah. But I will say, if you're scared of rats, probably not the game or TV show for
No.
you. I'm looking forward to seeing thousands of rats on screen at one time. And if I have to say one thing that I need adapted for the TV show, Rat Tornado.
No, we're not doing
Yes.
that. We're
Give
not doing
me
that.
the Rat
We can't do
Tornado.
One thing I do want to see them do is for Hugo to shut the hell up. He needs to not talk as much in the TV show. That is the most annoying thing about that game is this little kid constantly crying and complaining during the whole. There's literally millions of rats attacking you. Listen to your sister. Stop whining. It's so frustrating.
He just wants to pick some flowers.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh man, if you haven't played a Plague Tale yet, it's on Xbox Game Pass, Series X and S enhanced. It looks beautiful. So and it's only like 8 to 10 hours long, depending on how quick you go. So you can knock that one out, and the sequel's coming out this year. So give it a go because I adore that game. But we can move on to story number 3. A new saga in the Witcher franchise is coming. This was confirmed by CD Projekt Red. And they say that in a post that a new saga in the Witcher franchise is coming, that the series would be switching to Unreal Engine 5 for the new game. And CD Projekt Red has reportedly signed a 15-year deal with Epic Games to use Unreal Engine for their games. It's worth noting, as pointed out by the global PR director at CD Projekt Red, that they are not announcing this as The Witcher 4 and that the game will not be exclusive to Epic Games Store despite their partnership agreement. I think that was a good clarification because I did see a lot of talk, and I think I might even said it, that The Witcher 4 was in development. And according to them, that's not the case. They haven't announced The Witcher 4. They're just announcing a new saga in the Witcher franchise. So that means they could go literally anywhere. They're leaving it open. They could focus more on Geralt, or they could choose a different character. They could go off and tell other side stories in the Witcher universe. Certainly going to be bolstered by the popularity of the Netflix show. I haven't played The Witcher, guys, and I'm not going to play The Witcher, so I don't really have. I played The Witcher 2, and I didn't like it very much. I dropped it pretty quick, and then I watched my friend play Witcher 3, and it was like the most boring experience of my life. So listen, if people like that game, it's fine. I've long accepted CDPR games are not for me, and that was only reaffirmed with Cyberpunk. So. Ethan, you're probably more of a fan. What do you think? New Witcher coming?
Yeah, it's obviously exciting. We don't know anything about it, though. So, I mean, there's not much to comment on. I am interested to see what they're going to go for, whether they're going to I'm hoping they focus maybe more on Ciri and her whole storyline. But I think one of the bigger stories to come out of this is that they signed that 15-year deal to use Unreal Engine 5. I think using Unreal Engine 5 will help them avoid a lot of the problems they've had at launch with Cyberpunk 2077. Using a proprietary engine in-house, like I think it's their Red engine, that's just shown to be bad business practice in the game development world at this point. When you sign up for either Unity or Unreal Engine 5, you get that hive mind of where everyone that's working on it knows the tricks on how to use it. So I think that's a really great move by them. Hopefully it'll reduce crunch time. It'll make work easier. They have more people that they can go to, and more people can work for the company, and they don't have to train them up on their own engine anymore. They'll just come in. Hey, I've been working with Unreal Engine 4 for 10 years, and I've been working on an Unreal Engine 5 for the last couple of years. And you can hire them right off the bat, and they get right to work. So it's obviously a really good idea. I hope they just continue on after the 15 years. I don't see any point of using a proprietary engine anymore for these companies.
Yeah. Garrett, I'm gonna throw it over to you. When do you think we get to a point where companies just start using Unreal Engine? Like, I feel like more and more they're switching off their proprietary stuff and switching to Unreal. You know, you can comment on The Witcher too, but I'm gonna throw it over to you.
So okay, I'm usually off the cuff person. So like our last big graphic or engine overhaul was Splitgate, right? Or what was the one that was called for Halo Infinite?
Oh, Halo Infinite was
What was their graphics engine?
Oh,
I have no
Slip
idea.
Space, Slip Space, I
Yeah,
believe.
Slip Space. And that, like, they didn't do too bad for their graphics wise. Like it did look and play nice. So like that was the last major like full forging into like a whole making of a company, right? So like I don't know. I still have some faith in it, but it is going to be standardized one of these days. But then again, that sort of goes back into it's just one part of the gaming development that'll be going into a monopoly, and would we want that?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the big two engines out there, right, Ethan, are Unity and Unreal. Like that is, if you're not using one, you're probably using the other one. And
Yeah.
it's not until you get to like really the AAA level where companies have their own individual proprietary engines. Like we see EA with Frostbite, we see
RE engine.
yeah, CDPR with the Red engine. So there are specific examples, but I feel like more and more they're taking it off that and switching to Unreal. Like we know, I think Bethesda is probably the company with the biggest success using their own engines. Like they have IdTech, they have Creation for the Elder Scrolls and Starfield now. I feel like they're kind of doing it right, but by and large, like we've seen more issues than not by forcing developers to use an engine that isn't Unreal and Unity.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like I was saying, it's just going to save a company more money if they use one of these engines. Because at this point, if you're a video game developer, more than likely you're trained on how to use either Unity or Unreal 5 or 4. Like you know what you're doing with that. So just the fact of not having to train an employee of doing this, and then also there has to be employees that have years of experience using these engines. A new employee that's just been working at the company for a week that just went through the training stuff isn't going to be as good of a developer as the guy that's been at that company for 5 years. So when you're constantly dealing with that gap of knowledge within your company, it can set things back a lot. But when you have a full team of developers that all are very experienced with this one engine, it just makes sense.
Agreed, for sure. I'll be interested to see where they take The Witcher. Hopefully, they actually give it the time they need and don't release a broken game, because CDPR, you cannot take that hit again. Let me tell you.
No, they would be done. It would be over.
It would be over.
And their lead developer also, this should be pointed out that he guaranteed there would be no crunch time. Now we've heard it before. I don't know. We'll see, but that's just at least a good start.
For sure. We can move on to story number 4. A little good news here. Epic Games, speaking of Epic, and Microsoft have teamed up to support the Ukraine. Announced by both companies on their official Twitter accounts, Epic Games and Microsoft announced that all Fortnite transactions through April 3rd will be donated to Ukraine via donations to Direct Relief, United Nations Children Fund, and more. As of March 21st, so 3 days ago, the donations have already reached $36 million. That's phenomenal news. Obviously, Ukraine needs all the support it could get. It's getting money multiple countries, but it's good to see that companies are teaming up and letting you support directly, but also indirectly, because I guarantee you there are people playing Fortnite that would not go out of their way just to give their money to Ukrainian support efforts. They would not be donating to charities. They would, however, buy V-Bucks, and Epic Games knows this.
Yeah.
So they're over there like, we're going to match donations and give you the money we make for a certain time period. I think that's phenomenal. And this is a great move PR wise and just from a human standpoint.
It also we have to commend them on doing this for the first 2 weeks of the new season. They didn't just tack this on at the end of the old season. Yeah. They did it during the weeks where they know they're going to make the most money. So it just shows a commitment to actually doing the right thing. And it's just another example of, like I said in the first story, Phil Spencer putting his money where his mouth is and having the corporate culture that he thinks should be the norm.
Mm-hmm. Garrett, you got anything else to add?
You guys just both said it beautifully. Practically brought a tear to my eye.
Bro,
you guys should both go get some battle passes, huh?
I'm not going to play Fortnite.
No, I'm not playing Fortnite.
Damn it. That was worth a try. But yeah, right. They did it really well. They know what they're doing. And like, how much were they doing of how much
they're doing 100%.
It was all of it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the entire battle pass, because that everyone buys that in the first week or two, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, good.
Also shows how much money Fortnite is making, that they can have the confidence to just be like, we don't need that, and we're good.
Yeah, we're gonna give away hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, but then again, like after the whole Resistance thing, like the whole tank themed invasion battle pass, did you not see that as well?
I
have no idea.
I don't know anything about the Fortnite world.
It was sort of like, I saw a little bit of a hot topic issue. This whole, like, you know how they have themes for each season? Mm-hmm. They took away building in this one, but they call it because they're being invaded. Do you
invaded by what?
In like, I don't know. I don't actually keep up with
by T90 battle tanks with Z's on.
In like the little at the beginning of the season, there was like some characters that are apparently bad guys now. I don't know, from the prior seasons, and they're coming back to try to take out the island or whatever. So it's sort of like a poorly timed invasion. So listen, I sort of get the whole we're donating.
This is going to be a bad image.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad image.
So I didn't know Fortnite had that depth of lore to it. I didn't know
Fortnite, every season they have like a little story going on.
Adding to it and everything. Yeah, Ariana Grande was the last big bad guy, believe it or not. Or was that
Ariana Grande? Bad guy?
Yeah.
The evil Ariana Grande.
I thought it would have been Billie Eilish.
No.
Evil Billie Eilish.
No, there's rumors.
Because she has a song called Bad Guy. Get it?
Oh, I get it.
I'm funny. I'm funny, damn it. No, I mean, listen, all I'm saying is Nintendo delays Advance Wars, but this is okay. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Did they delay it?
Yes. It was supposed to come out April 8th, and they delayed it indefinitely.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, but I would have been okay with it if they donated the first 3 weeks of their money to
Nintendo's not going to do that.
Yeah,
Nintendo ain't going to do that.
But Nintendo ain't going to do that. So good on Microsoft and Epic.
Yeah, good on them. We're going to move on to story. I'm calling it 4.5 because it's still related to Ukraine. GSC Game World reportedly is leaving the Ukraine. This comes from Tech Raptor. GSC Game World, the developers of Stalker 2, is reportedly moving its offices and employees to the Czech Republic as a result of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Originally reported by the Czech gaming news site Vortex, several sources have indicated the company is indeed moving. They haven't officially said anything. They're a little busy trying to survive an invasion. But great. If this is, I hope this is true. Gets them out of there. Gets them safe in the Czech Republic. They apparently are going to move all their copyrights and everything like out of the Ukraine. So like they're not just like physically moving. They're moving like everything. Every part of their company will be out of the Ukraine. So
surprised they haven't done it already.
Well, they're probably working on it. I'm surprised that anyone even came to their account to tell us.
Yeah.
Like, You do yeah.
I'm also curious on how many of their devs just picked up guns and went to go fight too, because we've seen that a lot in Ukraine. So,
but that aside, for this person to go into the office and send that, man, given the current situation, is impressive.
Let me just go do some paperwork real quick while we're suffering artillery fire outside.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Well, we're not gonna spend too much time talking about that. I'm just glad they're getting out of there. It does not mean Stalker 2 is coming this year. I know right now it says December.
No way.
They are not going to hit that December date. We've been telling you for weeks. You need to be prepared, even with them moving.
Making me curious. I want to check it out on Twitter now. Sorry for interrupting, but I bet you there's probably like 100 people like, "Sweet, it's back on track."
I hope. I hope not, because that would be woefully ignorant. Woefully ignorant of what's going on.
Oh, thank God.
I'm really sticking my toe into that, but man, it's crazy on Twitter.
It's always crazy.
It depends on who you follow. You can curate your timeline and get a good Twitter experience, or you can just follow everyone and it'll be a toxic cesspool.
Or you can just follow Project XTalk. That's what I'm saying.
Follow Project XTalk. If you're watching and you haven't, head on over and listen, guys. If you subscribe to the channel and you're new, or if you rate us on Apple Podcasts, tweet me and you can get entered to win Game Pass Ultimate Code.
It's a value.
You have like, I don't know, 8 hours left or something like that. Just get it done. Get it done.
That's a value. And speaking of values, Kevin, what's our next story?
Speaking of values,
that's a good one,
Pass continues to be the best value in gaming, especially if you're in India. So story number 5, Microsoft has cut Game Pass price by 30% in India. This comes from Harish. I'm not even going to try to say your last name, or at Windows Central. Microsoft gave away 8 months of Game Pass to users in India for free, but now Microsoft, quote, is trying to retain a bulk of the users by including new pricing for Game Pass in India. The Game Pass Ultimate plan now costs $6.54, dropped from $9.17. India is a huge untapped market for gaming, and it appears this fact is not lost on Microsoft.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I wish Game Pass Ultimate was $6.54 here, because that would be a steal.
I know, we need that over here.
In this economy,
crazy.
This is great. Xbox, they're obviously aggressively trying to tap this market, because you're not going to get through to China. That's just with their government, with how things are over there. You're just not going to tap into that market. But India, that's over 1 billion people. That's a lot of gamers that you can reach over there. And I understand it's still a developing country. Not everyone has access to internet and all that stuff. So not everyone can access this. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of money to be made here. And there's a lot of untapped talent as well. Hopefully we can start seeing game dev studios open up in India. We can expand this culture of gaming to them. It'd be absolutely incredible.
Garrett?
I'm just curious, like, as you said that, I never read the story myself, sorry. But
shocking.
I do read like half of them, but like I want to remain off the cuff. But I'm curious, but like, you did say retain their audience, so why are they dropping?
Well, they gave away 8 months for free. So now they're trying to keep the people that were subscribed. And who is in a warship right now? Mute yourself. That was you, Ethan.
Yeah. A warship. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are not coming through your microphone right now.
Something that is in your left hand is too close to your mic.
I don't.
Now, can you hear me?
It still doesn't. I hear everything though. Like I heard a car going by.
Yeah, it was a Honda. No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out that Honda Civic driver going 90 and a 40.
No, I'm just curious. Like, well, not too curious now that you put it like that, but like, I don't know. I still would have just kept up with that. It's not like they dropped price anywhere, or did they? Wasn't there another country that dropped price for a few months back?
They've dropped prices in a few of the underperforming markets to try to drum up interest.
Yeah, like it almost makes me wish, like, buddies, can you stop playing for a little bit so we could get some of our savings? But like, other than that, it's decent. Good for them. I wonder if I could like Amazon some Indian gift cards? Like, how would
No,
that work?
you can only redeem them on an Indian account.
It's okay. I can fly to India.
I don't think just changing a region doesn't change your account.
I'll figure it out.
You have to make a new gamer tag in like India,
NordVPN.
NordVPN. Yeah. Okay, you got them. I bet they didn't think of NordVPN. They've never watched a YouTube video. Oh my god. Well, we're gonna continue talking about Game Pass because story 5.5. I'm being weird today with the story
There's
numbers.
a lot this week.
Game Pass is good for the industry. This was revealed at their GDC press conference. Microsoft shared some data related to Game Pass and the impact it had on the industry. According to Microsoft's presentation, Game Pass members are willing to invest in their experiences, with members spending 50% more than other users across all types of transactions. Members play 30% more genres after joining Game Pass. Game Pass has had a positive effect on indies, with triple-digit growth from their pay-to-play titles when comparing the performance before entering Game Pass, and members play 40% more titles after joining Game Pass. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal to see, especially the indie numbers. That is crazy. If you are an indie developer and you're not on Game Pass, like, you are missing an opportunity from where I'm sitting. Like, the data points that get your indie game on there and you're going to reap some benefits.
Yeah. Seems foolish not to be at this point. Like, it's just crazy publicity, and like everyone gets to try a game before fully buying it. And because you're an indie developer, you get to pull on unique heartstrings that most people like AAA games don't get to pluck on.
Yeah.
But
you guys can hear me now fine, right?
Yep.
Okay, everything's good. You don't hear the Jake brakes of the 18-wheelers going down 1604. All right, good. But yeah, it's good to see actual numbers tied to Game Pass. You know, I remember when I first discovered Game Pass, and you're just like, how is this working? This doesn't make any sense to me. So it's good to see more numbers come out. And like you said, Kevin, this is just great for indie developers. I mean, this is a market that was untapped for decades in gaming, and now we're seeing very high quality indie games like Kraken Academy come out, and I'm playing more of them than ever, and it's wonderful.
I'm right there with you. There were so many, like, of the 70 something games I played last year, so many of them were indie titles on Game Pass. Games that I wouldn't have tried. Like Dodgeball Academia, I'm not paying $30 from that.
No.
It was on Game Pass, and I loved that game. A game I would have never been able to experience if I had to drop $30 on it. It makes me also feel good as a Game Pass subscriber that, you know, me playing actually is helping them because they get additional bonuses. It seems from what the chart said that maybe indie games are more of the you get paid the more people play types deal. I'm sure we know there's multiple types of Game Pass deals, whether it's a lump sum right at the start, so you're automatically in the black, or a more engagement, you get more money type deal. So it makes me feel good that, like, hey, me playing on Game Pass is still going to benefit them in some way. It's going to get them more money because there's so many good indie games on the service. It really is turning into like an all-star lineup for indie titles.
Yeah.
And knowing that, like, we're going to get AAA games, but when we don't have like a major AAA game, they're probably adding some quality indie games like Tunic this month. Tunic is probably the big Xbox game this month. It's an indie game made by one dude, really. He has some help, but like one dude made Tunic. Death's Door came after a while. That was made by like Acid Nerve, who's a very small team. It's like only a few developers. Even if it's not on launch, though, like the numbers show like your game is going to succeed and do very well, and it's going to benefit you and your studio. So I'm super pumped.
Yeah, it just increases quality all around, because you think about maybe 10 years ago when you told me that, yeah, one guy made this game, I would expect it to be a Flash game on Newgrounds.com. You know what I mean? Throwback back in time. That's the good old days, right? But nowadays we're getting legit video games like Tunic, like Kraken Academy, like all these little indie games. It's awesome. I love it.
For sure. Garrett, you got anything to add about these Game Pass numbers?
I think, didn't I open up? Like, I don't know.
I'm just, if you don't have anything, it's fine. Maybe closing comments. All right,
Oh
buddy.
no, I was just saying I had like a brain fart. I was like, wait a second. I swear, did I not already talk?
Who knows?
But no, they did great. The numbers were astounding. I'm not going to do any more of my Halo. That was a very niche thing. I feel that Halo could have done better. And seeing the numbers now, I was right, mother.
Oh, Luke, we're sorry. He's gonna call you out on XTP again.
Oh
Bring
well.
But
all right, guys, we're having some fun here. Let's move on to our last story for the day. Story number 6. Ethan, you sent this one over. Unity engine gets an upgrade. This comes from Game Rant. Unity has revealed a new real-time cinematic trailer named Enemies to show off the graphical capabilities of its Unity engine. The engine has experienced a multitude of upgrades for 2022 that include an improved high-definition render pipeline, a new adaptive lighting system, and new tools for creating realistic human faces with strand-based hair physics. So it seems like Unity is really trying to compete more with Unreal. I still think Unreal is probably the market leader and vastly superior, but it's good to see because Unity before, it was clear when a game was made on Unity that it wasn't as good feeling, like the way it looked. There was certainly some drawbacks. It seems they're kind of closing the gap here.
Yeah, and it's good going back to what we were talking about indie games and how much they've come forward. Unity is pretty much the main engine that a lot of these small indie developers use because it's very much more accessible than Unreal 5. It's less expensive for them to develop on, and it has a lot more assets that are free to use or assets that are cheaper to use. So Unity doing this upgrade is just going to be, again, better for the entire industry. And hopefully we can start seeing some even more incredible indie experiences come out of the update.
Garrett?
So I'm just going over the Unity engine right now. I'm just looking at it, and it sort of seems like they do all of the B-rate games, right?
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of AA games and indie games, yeah.
Like I'm looking down this list, I was like, now that I think of it, what are some Unity games that I play? And then I'm going down like Age of Tarkov, Rust, Hollow Knight, Cuphead, right?
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl,
a lot of
all the good ones.
Building, like, and Kerbal Space Program. That's a good, fun game.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's great that they're competing more. I was hoping to see more AAA on this list, but like, it's a bit of a staggering difference. But no, it's great. They're stepping up. Good on them. I hope to see where this goes. Maybe we could get some Kerbalians with some great hair physics in the next one.
Yes.
Blasting them into outer space. But yeah.
I think you bring up a great point there, Gary. That the list doesn't have many games that we would consider AAA experiences.
Yeah, like I'm going down it, and like I'm keep on searching while I'm talking here. I'm just like, come on. But no, it doesn't really look like
maybe in a few years though, that's different. Maybe we pull up this list again, and because of these improvements, we're going to be looking at a list that looks more like, oh hey, that could be considered a AAA game. That developers will choose Unity because they're not going to lose as much compared to Unreal. Maybe that's a situation we're going to see, and I think that's certainly their hope here.
Oh, we can't say. There's a couple AAA games.
Oh,
2021. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Really?
I guess those are AAA, yeah.
I guess. Remakes, really.
But like you were saying earlier, Garrett, you're worried about consolidation in that part of the market. You know, this could very well be a good competitor if Unity's trying to make that push and say, hey, Unreal doesn't have competition. Let's be the competition. Right? Maybe that's what Unity's trying to say here.
I'm hoping it is. I hope it is.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens in a few years, and if Unity stacks up, or if Unreal becomes the only engine that everyone uses. But guys, that's all we got this week. Kind of a short show. I honestly thought it'd be longer with the amount of news stories we had. And you know what?
Stuff that we find agreeable. That's the trouble. We get most of our strife is when we're arguing. But like, it's very cut and dry issues this week. We all sort of had the same thought process.
Well, listen, you know who I blame.
It's
Tom. Yes, you get. No,
we blame the people that aren't here. Amon and Tom.
Amon is eating ketchup pizza in
Ketchup.
Italy.
Disgusting.
Oh, this gets worse.
Tom
every
has
time
a-
you bring it up.
Tom has a reasonable excuse for not being
Yes, he
here.
does.
Yeah.
Very, very reasonable. But I know for a fact there were some things on here that he has some takes on, and
Oh,
I'm
man.
sad he didn't get to share them. But he'll be back hopefully next week. But for the two of you that are here, you two,
You got the
please-
bottom of the barrel on this episode.
Yeah,
kid.
I'm scraping. I'm like, who's my
I could
panel
not
this week?
think of
And then
I couldn't think of a good argument to lots of this stuff. Like, very sensible on the fucking Moon Studios. There's no way that I could spin that into a 15-minute
I think it's a
argument.
positive thing. There's a lot of good
Yeah.
news this week. There's a lot of
Yeah,
good things
it's
going
just
on,
a
except
good,
for Moon
happy
Studios,
news week.
obviously.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
lot of good things going on in Moon.
Yeah,
what's
like,
going on over there at Moon?
Like, I
Yeah.
can only add so much spin onto things. Like, at one point, I'll grab the pitchfork for myself. Like, it's
You grab the pitchfork, I'm gonna grab a shovel and start digging your grave.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't know. We don't
come
know.
on, we gotta have the say in the witch burning first. It gotta be fun.
Garrett, nah, never heard of that guy. Nope.
Who's
Not
that?
familiar. Way
Never seen his
warned.
face before.
Way warned.
Way warned.
Way warned.
You have no clue how many times I have to correct people since I took my name off of that. It's ridiculous. What's your name? Way wrong? Way wrong?
Way wrong.
You spelled it wrong.
That's not
It's way
even how you
wrong.
fucking spell it. Sorry,
Way
sorry.
wrong, dude.
man.
Whoa.
I know. I was getting better.
It's just him misspelling it. He's
Yeah.
he's dyslexic. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Ethan, plugs. Where can they find you?
You can find me at WhiteCedar1 on Twitter and Gravy3448 on Xbox. The light is dying, Garrett.
Yeah.
You keep
Yeah.
saying it. I don't know what it means.
You don't need
It's
to know.
code.
Don't worry
You
about
need
it.
to know.
Way wrong. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Way Wrong at on Xbox and Twitter, or Way1G if you're not dyslexic.
You can find me at the Muffin Mon. It's a 1-7I and an 0-7A. Follow us at Project XTalk to stay up to date with all our latest videos. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We're here every Thursday. And head on over to Patreon and see if you want to drop us $1. Keep the lights on. Keep Garrett, off camera.
Yep.
We're doing you a favor, all right?
Yeah,
You're
you don't
paying
wanna do
us
that.
not to see him.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
it's
so
great.
if
Like, I have
that
to wake up every time you don't want me to put on my mascara. I need 20 minutes. I don't know how Kev does it every show with his perfectly modeled hair.
He does makeup.
It-
I'm telling you, he does makeup before the
Yeah,
show.
it is astounding, Kev.
He has a powder
Like,
room and
I
everything with the lights
low-key
in the mirror.
envy you. Like,
I do this in the morning and it just stays all
Really?
day. Yeah.
what kind of product
Crazy.
do you use?
I got this
Hey.
wax, this hard
Oh.
wax.
Oh, that waxy pomade
There-
stuff.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't make your hair feel bad. Like, it's still soft. And I'm like,
okay.
You got that Conan pomp.
Yeah, but you can you can brush it all around. Welcome to Kevin's hair salon. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah, goodbye.